The visuals were amazing. Amazing. The scenes in the teasers or the trailer just had me on the edge of my seat. I was so excited when Rey did that flip. I was like, what? I started laughing. So it's great. It was great with Star Wars in that respect. My concern is due to the J.J. Abrams taking the helm now, that he's going to bring it back to something that's safe and predictable and a rehash, and that is not something that I want. I don't want Palpatine coming back. I don't want... Just the title alludes to that maybe Rey is a Skywalker, which is the predictable route. I don't want that. What made The Last Jedi so great, and would probably, for one of the reasons that it irked a lot of people, is that it was dangerous and that it was unpredictable, and that's what made it exciting. As awesome as these visuals are, it appears, and we could be thrown for a loop here, but it appears that it's gonna be predictable and safe and a rehash. Doesn't mean it's not gonna be good. It could be incredible. But what could make it less incredible is that it's so predictable. What made Episode 7 so good was that predictability, ironically enough. That predictability kind of brought the fans back, made them comfortable after how different the prequels were. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the prequels. I think I like them better than I did, maybe 10 years ago. I rewatched them not too long ago. Episode 1 I watched not too long ago. It's one of the earlier podcasts from maybe a year ago. And while I found that it dragged, my biggest criticism was that it dragged. Like, the podcast was too long. It took a while for young Anakin to get from Tatooine to actually meeting the Jedi. I wasn't turned off by the political intrigue. I was kind of the cool part of it. It was just the pacing of it, and then the effects kind of don't hold up a little bit. So I haven't watched Episode 2 in a while. I do plan to watch it as a podcast with my friend Erin. We just have to, get our schedules together. Hopefully soon we'll do it. So, but the prequels were different. That's one good thing I have to say about them, while maybe the execution wasn't the best. So Episode 7 kind of is like, all right, we're going to take you back to what, A New Hope was. So it was very similar to A New Hope in certain ways, but I think it was done by design. Now, before Episode 8 came out, I said I would have been disappointed if it was an Empire Strikes Back clone. And it was not an Empire Strikes Back clone. There were some, similarities because it's Star Wars. It has to, be parallel and rhyme a little bit. But the way the story was and the directions that it took you and the emotional aspects of it and the unpredictability and the danger of it was such a joy to watch. And it's my favorite movie of the saga, probably my favorite movie ever. And that's why I loved it. Now, watching this trailer, some of the story points about, like, Kylo Ren putting his helmet back together again. Apparently the blue lightsaber being back. I don't know if that's Luke's or if that's someone else when it was destroyed in the other one. And just Palpatine's laugh. I'm hoping they're throwing us for a loop and it's, a holocron or some recording of him, and don't bring him back. Don't. Again, why have that rehash? I remember in the books, it's Legends now, but in the books they brought Palpatine back as a clone, and Luke turned to the dark side. It was horrible. There was no point in it. It took everything that happened in Return of the Jedi, it just ruined. So I don't want that. So my expectations are low, I guess, which is good, but the visuals are just, you can't say enough about how great they are. So I just want it to be unpredictable. I really do. I don't want, like, J.J. Abrams making Return of the Jedi again or rehashing his fanboy tendencies. You can still be a fanboy or a fangirl or a fan, or a fan anything, and still you can pay tribute to the movie but still not make a carbon copy of it. Metallica is one of my favorite bands, and what I love about Metallica is that they normally don't make the same thing over and over again. They throw you for a loop, but they're still being honest. So I hope it doesn't go in that direction, but even if it does, I think I'll still be pleased with it. It's great seeing Billy Dee Williams back. So I have hope. It's not a new hope, but it's a hope. So I'm looking forward to seeing other ones. And I remember while I was watching the trailer on my phone, my friend who was excited started spoiling the trailer for me because he thought I saw it already. Like, I watched it a minute after he did, and he kept texting me. He texted me the title. He texted me about Palpatine laughing. So that wasn't surprised. And I got mad because I like being surprised by things, and meanwhile I'm seeing the text while I'm watching the trailer. So the title is okay. It kind of sounds like a porno a little bit, but it leaves people questioning, well, the Rise of Skywalker, what does that mean? Is Rey a Skywalker? Does Kylo Ren... Well, Kylo Ren's a Solo, but he has Skywalker blood, so does he turn into, like, the traditional aspect of Skywalker? Luke's already gone, but he'll be back as a ghost. So, and I'm curious if they're going to make Luke similar to what he was in Episode 8, which I liked. He was a little bit of a curmudgeon. He was traumatized. I know some people wanted Luke to be like this badass, but again, that would have been predictable. We don't need that. We had Luke. And Luke, let me just say that Luke was a badass, ultimately, in The Last Jedi. How he faced down the whole, he gave the illusion of facing down the First Order army while inspiring another rebellion and sparking hope. And creating the legend that he never wanted to be, but ended up doing it because he knew it was the right thing to do. It's just beautiful storytelling there, beautiful. So I hope they don't try to make him the wise and stoic master again. That's the problem with this latest trilogy. There's no outline for it. So Episode 7 was written. And then when Episode 8 was written, it was taken into another direction because there was no outline. And now since there's no outline, the writers of Episode 9 can take it in whatever direction they want. So that's good in some respect because it could make things unpredictable, but it's bad in some respects where it's like, well, I didn't like that, so I'm going to change it. And then they do, and they can retcon a bunch of stuff that was cool maybe in Episode 8, but now it's like, oh, well, this didn't happen, or we're going to do this plot point right here to make sure that it didn't matter in Episode 8. So it kind of ruins continuity in a bit, even though it could make it exciting. It's not good or bad to have an outline or to not have an outline. It's whether it makes sense. It's the execution of it. So the styles are different, and it could lead to good results, which I hope it does. I know with the Marvel movies, there's a predictability to them. Star Wars, at least right now, doesn't necessarily have that yet, and that was what was so great about Episode 8, so I hope they keep track of that with all the new things that are happening. After Episode 9, there will be more movies, but it's going to be a while until there is one because they want to concentrate on Disney and The Mandalorian and all that. So I hope some good things. And Rian Johnson's coming up with movies, and I just want him to do Star Wars all the time because there is just an excitement to what he does. So again, and let me say this to the older fans, I'm 42 years old. I born in 1976, so I was 6 years old when Return of the Jedi came out. I was that age, so I've been watching Star Wars and reading Star Wars and reading about Star Wars forever. And the way to keep things exciting and fresh is to take us in different directions, but still with the integrity of the movies intact, and I think Episode 8 did that almost perfectly. I mean, there's no such thing as perfect, and you don't want to be perfect. If you're perfect, there's nowhere else to go, So, but that's what was so great about Episode 8. I hope I see that in Episode 9. And you know what? Even if I didn't, I think I'm still going to enjoy it just from the visuals alone, and the acting's going to be great and the action's going to be great. So there's always going to be that. And the writing's probably going to be really good too. The Episode 7, even though again it was predictable, the writing was still good, and I still loved it. I still really loved it. So We'll see. But I will love it more if it's once again dangerous and unpredictable and make a lot of noise. And that's from the movie My Girl. How do you like that? That's from the movie My Girl, but one of my favorite albums growing up was The Sound of White Noise by Anthrax, and they had that quote at the very end of the album. So I figured I would use it. So this interlude is a bridge to Erin's reaction to the trailer. So without further ado, here we go. We're about to watch the actual trailer. Erin has not seen the Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of the Skywalker. Well, teaser, it's called. So we're about to watch it now. Do you have anything to say before we watch it, Erin?
Better be good.
Yes. We shall see. Sounds like a porno.
We've passed on all we know.
That's Luke.
Why are you running like you think that thing is gonna, like...
Because she's gonna do that. Kylo. It's putting the mask back together. Lando. That looks like the Death Star. Do you know what that laugh was? The laugh is Emperor Palpatine. The Emperor.
Right,
From Return of the Jedi. So, This is my concern, because J.J. Abrams is doing it again. I'm just concerned he's bringing back the old characters as like a rehash of the old movies.
Okay.
Because that's kind of what he did in Episode 7. He kind of rehashed Episode 4, which was still great. You know, it was kind of needed, but it was kind of like a mirror of Episode 4, which, okay, I get. It's fine. But don't do it again.
Yeah, that was done to bring us back because it had been so long.
Yeah, like Episode 8 was so fantastic, and now I'm just hoping it's not going to be the same shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still going to be good. I just don't want the same shit.
Nobody wants the same shit.
Did you like Episode 8?
Yeah.
Right, so what'd you think of the trailer?
It told me nothing.
Well, I mean, it's a teaser. It's a teaser.
Exciting.
It's supposed to... not exciting?
It was okay.
I mean, it's supposed to tease you. It's not necessarily the plot.
Yeah,
it's just here are the certain things to tease until the actual trailer comes out, which gives you maybe more of an idea of the plot. So really not exciting?
I thought the trailer was better than this.
Well, it's a teaser.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I like the trailer better.
No. This is the only thing that's released.
Then what did I see with Mark Hamill in it?
I don't know. Episode 8 trailer?
No. I don't know, I'm just confused.
Right. So you weren't excited? All right. Are you still looking forward to the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. But the teaser hasn't teased you enough.
No.
This movie comes out in December.
I know.
So you have until December
Plenty of time.
to be excited about it. All right. Well, listen, I will tack this on to my reaction to the Episode 9 trailer, which I did. I was more excited than you.
I'm probably missing some awesome thing that happened that I'm just like...
There's a lot of throwbacks to the original trilogy, like that medal that they showed. The medal that they showed was the medal that Luke and Han got at the end of Episode 4 when they blew up the Death Star. That kind of skeletal thing in the planet that looks like the skeleton of the Death Star. That's the thing. I just don't want J.J. Abrams to bring back the same shit. Like, I've seen the Death Star already. I don't need the fucking Death Star already. I want something new. Do you want something new?
I mean, it's my last name.
It is your last name, so... Right. And Kylo Ren's putting the mask back together, and what was so great about him destroying the mask in Episode 8 was that he's becoming something of his own. Now he's fucking putting the mask back together, and plus it was probably a comment on, like, you know, on what some fans wanted Kylo Ren to be, and Rian Johnson kind of destroyed all that. Rian Johnson destroyed so many things that, like, certain hardcore fans wanted. That's why, well, among other reasons why some hardcore fans were pissed. I'm a hardcore fan, and I just fucking loved it, because I loved just the unpredictability of Episode 8.
And refreshing, changing, and whatever. Newness.
Thank you. So hopefully we'll have newness. I mean, I'll still love it, even if it's the same predictable shit. But it'd be nice if it wasn't. And Lando is wearing the same yellow that young Lando wore in Solo.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
funny.
So that's cool. So anyway, all right. Any last words, Erin?
Nope.
Where can they find you?
I don't go on Twitter anymore because I'm too tired. But if you like beer and you want to see me post about beer, ERUNUE V as in Victor O. That's my handle on Twitter.
My handle on Twitter is MMAM Podcast. My handle on Facebook is MMAM Podcast. My email is MMAMpodcast
We like to keep it simple
at
around here.
gmail.com. May the Force be with you.
Yes.